We talk about the lineup, how it's going to shape out, where JD Martinez will fit. Positionally, though, who's the odd man out here? Because you have Hanley Ramirez, Mitch Moreland at first base. You clearly have 3 established outfielders. Devers is going to be a lock at third. I don't believe I missed any other positions that Martinez can play. He's a versatile guy, but one man can only do so much. Who is the odd man out here? Because for $110 million, he sure as hell better not be a platoon player.
He's going to DH for the most part. He's going to DH for the most part. And if he does get outfielding time, the obvious answer to me is Jackie Bradley Jr. Jackie Bradley Jr. has, as much as the Red Sox seem to love him, the guy has underperformed every single year, except he has a 29-game hit streak one day, and then he goes back to the classic Jackie Bradley Jr. where he strikeout city, swings at everything. And the guy's a phenomenal outfielder. But you also, Red Sox fans have to remember this, you have 2 other center fielders playing right and left field. That's replaceable. Andrew Benintendi grew up playing center field. You can move him over to center field easily. JD Martinez loves the outfield. If he's going to play the outfield, it's going to be in left field. It's a simple equation.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to take that one step further, Nick. And you said in the last segment, if you're watching this roundtable on YouTube, you can go back and find the previous segment on the CLNS YouTube channel. You said you think this team's complete. You think that this was the final piece, the cornerstone, they're ready to go. I actually think they still need to make some moves. And I'm going to start with starting pitching. Again, I don't love this rotation. Look, Chris Sale, bona fide stud, fine. David Price, if it was up to me, he'd be in the bullpen. He'd be the 8th inning guy. I get attacked every time I say that, so I'll say, fine, he's your number 2 starter. But
wouldn't be a great manager.
All right. He still never really resolved that elbow issue from last year. It just kind of went away, and that's a little suspicious for me. I don't know if he's not heading to the operating table soon. Drew Pomeranz is a fine 3rd starter. The average, he'll give you ace stuff some nights, other nights not so much. Rick Porcello is total wild card. Don't trust him at all. It sounds like Eduardo Rodriguez will not be ready for opening day due to a knee injury. Shocker. And you don't know what's going on with Stephen Wright with both his injury and possible suspension. Don't forget about that. So you're looking right now at a 4th starter in Rick Porcello who's could implode on any night. And then anywhere from Brian Johnson, who I like, but I still don't think is totally ready, to Hector Velazquez, to Ty Buttrey as your 5th starter. We laughed last year when the Red Sox went out, 2-3 weeks into the season and signed Doug Fister. And, it's kind of a guy who hadn't been on the radar for a while. I get that it's a little bit of a goofy signing. We thought, they're banged up in the rotation. He'll get him through 2 or 3 weeks, and then he'll have a nice little year in Pawtucket. He ended up being a really important signing. Now, he wasn't, an all-star by any means, but he ate up innings, and he gave him quality starts down the stretch when they needed them. That they still need to add that guy this year, that veteran experienced arm. I said this the other day, somebody brought up Clay Buchholz to me. Please, God, not that guy, but somebody with a similar resume, maybe who's not as much of a head case. But they still need to add that guy, and they can do a little better in my mind this year than a Doug Fister. Jackie Bradley Jr. just became expendable. I wonder if there's another big move. There should be another big move from Dave Dombrowski. Go move JBJ. Go get a legitimate major league top 3 arm. And then you have Sale, you have Price, you have whoever you get for Bradley, which should be a quality pitcher. You have Pomeranz as the 4th starter, which makes him a lot more valuable. And I'm fine with Rick Porcello at the 5. And then you get Erod back when you need him, which I'm not counting on him to make more than 10 or 15 starts. And Stephen Wright is a knuckleballer who is coming off of an injury, who is also dealing with a domestic violence suspension. I like no part about that in relying on this guy. I think Eduardo Rodriguez as your 6th starter is a good place to be. This team still needs to make a couple more moves. And to me, trading Jackie Bradley Jr. for an established major league starter is the next shoe to drop.
And see, that makes sense. And Jackie Bradley Jr. being traded, in regards to that, the Red Sox yesterday were like, oh, no, we're not going to be trading Jackie Bradley Jr. Like I said, they love him, but I don't believe that for a second. You have Dave Dombrowski who loves to trade. You have Dave Dombrowski who loves to make moves. And like you said, a veteran pitcher added to this rotation is only going to make this rotation lethal. This rotation, I agree with you. The back end of it, it's iffy. It's scary. The front end of it is beautiful. If David Price can stay
That's
healthy.
just Chris Sale, though. The front end's just Chris Sale.
If David Price can stay healthy, I think the guy is motivated this year. That might just be spring
I've
training
been talking
hype.
to the last couple of days have been living on this. If David Price is healthy, Rick Porcello was
It's
once
all
a
in
young
this
winner.
game.
Drew Pomerantz was an all-star for 2 months. Those are the lines I keep getting fed. These are minute sample sizes that are the biggest what ifs. This isn't 2013. You're not going to have every what if go right between Pomerantz, Porcello, Price, and Wright. You get legitimate full season performances from 2 of those guys. I'll tell you that right now. Those are all 50-50 scenarios. You can count on 2 of those guys. That still leaves you with a spot in the rotation.
And I agree. But I think David Price is going to have a good year. That's just been my feeling. And that's what I felt about last year, too. This is year 3. He's settled in. And it might just be the spring training hype. But I'm with him. I think David Price and Chris Sale are going to be are going to make for the best 1-2 punch in baseball. And if you trade Jackie Bradley Jr., you can get that third veteran who's been there before, who's been in the spotlight before. And the Red Sox, like I said, they said that they're not going to trade Jackie Bradley Jr. I don't believe that for a second. I do not believe that for a second. I don't think J.D. Martinez wants to be the DH. I think J.D. Martinez wants to play left field. And what are you going to say? If you are actually thinking about trading Jackie Bradley Jr., you're not going to outright say, we're thinking about trading Jackie Bradley Jr. So now that guy's got it in his head, well, damn, the team wants to get rid of me. That wouldn't make any sense. That's a dumb move on Dave Dombrowski's part if he were to do that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and it's not something that necessarily needs to happen before the season. You could do it a couple weeks into the season, but something to keep an eye on. This roundtable is brought to you by SeatGeek. Visit SeatGeek.com or use their app. With the promo code Garden Report, you get a discount on your offer. Again, that's SeatGeek.com, the promo code Garden Report.